heureusement que Brahim Diaz a raté son penalty. Et je vais vous dire un truc peut-être qui paraît absurde, mais quand j'ai vu les circonstances, il ne pouvait pas gagner comme ça. Et je suis certain que si Diaz avait marqué, ça aurait été une explosion de colère absolument partout, à Dakar, au Maroc, peut-être même à Paris, dans d'autres villes. Et on a échappé au pire grâce à Brahim Diaz.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته الإخوان، كيف الحال؟ لا زال كل الإعلاميين العالميين دابا اللي غادي نسمعوا فيديو، فإعلاميين عالميين تكلموا على مباراة المغرب والسنغال، وأن السنغال يجب أن يكون هو الخاسر لأنه انسحب من المباراة. وفرنسي آخر قال بأن ابراهيم انقذ فرنسا والمغرب بضياع تلك ضربة جزاء. وتيلي ينتقد كذلك المنتخب السنغالي وقال كيف أول مرة في النهائي كيفاش منتخب يريد الانسحاب. وأجمع الكل على بأن قرارات الحكم كانت صائبة وصالحة، لكن الخطأ اللي دار الحكم هو أنه وصلت ربع ساعة كان إعلان على نهاية المباراة وانسحاب المنتخب السنغالي والهزيمة. فعنشوفوا الفيديو.
But what gives me comfort was the positioning of the referee and the moment where he could also blow, because I felt he was very close to the action, but I still felt that we needed a review in that situation.
When did he blow, Ma'a?
He blows before the ball goes in the back of the net. He doesn't allow for full play to continue.
Okay.
So you're not going to be able to see it there. We're going to go to the previous one just before this.
Okay.
See there, obviously, Hakimi turns his back and he still gets a bit of a push there. So that is seen. But see there, so watch this moment carefully as it goes through. You'll see him, see there. He's blown already there. The ball doesn't hit the back of the net. So which brings the question then, Davik. Was he premature in blowing the whistle? Should he have left play go on, let the goal go in, and then perhaps depend on VAR to change the on-field decision or make a different decision?
In this situation, there's holding. So an offense has been committed, and holding and a push as well. Because at the end, when Sek finishes him off, he pushes him down with power and force. So that's where severity comes in. So now the referee has seen two offenses, but he decided to punish, or not, the most serious one is the push by the attacker. Hence, he awarded a free kick.
Jean-Jacques Ngambondala made the right decision in that instance then. Are we happy with that?
If we had turned the tables, let's say in that push, and then Osek goes down, because he's been pushed by do you think a penalty would have been awarded?
Two situations here, coach. If both of them are pushing,
they're in a tussle.
Yes.
I wanted the same picture.
Yeah.
But then the one who goes on the ground should actually be the transgressor, Kube Usek, and not to Hakimi. What would you then have made?
Now that's when Doc comes in and say VAR will also check possible penalty.
But again,
if it's a push,
in this instance, I'm just looking at it differently.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the size of the two players. Because the Sek was bigger than Hakimi, then obviously he will be seen as somebody who put more force. But I'm looking at the same thing in the view of what Coach Steve is saying, that if it was in Hakimi and a Sadio Mane, okay, and the same thing happens,
smaller,
okay, and the same thing happens, what could the decision be? Sadio Mane goes down. Let's say Sadio Mane heads the ball the same way, okay, but he goes down. Okay.
All I can say, they are all big. Hakim is big, Sek is big, and then we referee what we see. What we see is what will blow. The what if will come after.
That's the last point. That's the last point for me, Tavik. If you look at the incident, that's why it's a little bit like for me subjective. Hakimi doesn't even look at the ball. The player wants to attack the ball. So in this case, the person who's impeding the other, it's Hakimi, because he's not even looking at the ball. If you look at it, I mean, he's not even interested to look what's happening. His concern, if you look at it, his concern is this player. And sometimes, the law sometimes, I know maybe for the offside, is that you have to give the offensive player or the offensive
benefit.
Team. Look at the picture there. Hakimi could have gone in front to play the ball, but he's involved in the tussle, and this player wants to attack the ball.
Yeah. He's blocking this player from...
He's blocking these players. You see there,
He's not.
He's looking at him. He's not even looking at the ball.
Does that matter, Tavik, in the decision making of this particular incident?
When a player comes to you, if you don't look at him, he will put you down. So you have to look for protection as well.
But who's
it's normal movement in football.
But who's impeding?
No, both of them have committed an offense. This is what we see, which is holding an offense and pushing. So now the law guides us in terms of the referee will punish the more serious offense in this situation.
Right, let's move on from this one.
Yeah.
Then the second one, which leads to the penalty, which then leads to the drama that we then saw after that. Was that rightfully a penalty?
Let's go to Itmaa and look at the holding offense inside the penalty area. We see Diouf there holding Diaz and pulling him down. So clearly here, I don't understand why Senegal wants to leave the field of play for this offense, because this is clear holding. Penalty should be awarded, and penalty was awarded. Correct decision by Jean-Jacques Ndala to award the penalty. Angazi Senegal bakhala ngani hisilo chakutsatseka.
Let's go back to it. If you can go to the moment there, if you can just take it back a little bit. Let's get to the moment when we see Diaz in front of him there, right? So look at Diaz's right hand, which is what Coach Mangoba was at length to say. Look at his right hand. So obviously he needs to go in front of him in order to head the ball. In trying to go in front of him, you saw the right hand that is stopping him. How is there any offense committed by the right hand? Go back a little bit more. Go back a little bit more. A little bit more there. A little bit more. You'll see the hand. There it is. There it is. See, you can even see the hand from behind.
Oh, from behind.
Because he's stopping him from moving forward. What then in that matter?
And maybe
Holding.
maybe to add on this, because that holding and the holding of Diouf are both wrong. They are fouling each other. And now this one who is attacking benefits.
Right, let's go to holding. Holding is very clear, and I'm happy that we have educators here. Holding must have an impact. Here, there's no impact. It's just holding. No impact at all. Let's go to this impact. Now, this holding, impact. It pulls him down.
Sure. I think whenever you order your players off the pitch, personally, I think you should forfeit the game. I don't think it's right. I don't think... I mean, if the referee orders your team off the pitch for any reason, we understand that. But I didn't see the issues that they took the players off the pitch for being that contentious that I thought, oh, he's got a point there. I could see why he done that. I think it just shows so badly on football.
I mean, I hesitate to think what would have happened thereafter had the game been abandoned at that stage. Now, if the game had been forfeited in the eyes of officialdom.
It's poor conduct. I mean, we're seeing managers go over the top, but this manager's gone a little bit too far. Now, I assume his assertion is that the home nation are being given preferential decisions, i.e. a bad decision they felt was a bad decision, disallowing a goal for them in terms of a player that was pushed and not necessarily pushed, and then a penalty they felt was soft.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Is that what you do now? Is that what we do now in major tournaments? You take teams off a field. So I suspect, yeah, it probably should have resulted in a circumstance. I mean, the player should have gone back in the field and whacked the ball in the back of the net.
Exactly. But leaving the pitch and protest at referee decisions, game, is it surprising we don't see it more often?
Make a ridiculous decision. I mean, whether you like it or you don't like it, the referee's decision on the field is the final word. And if you want to deal with it afterwards in the aftermath of the game and have your say, which so many managers do, none of them ever refereed, but all of them seem to be an expert in how to referee, you know, you get into that situation. But it's a terrible optic. It's a terrible way to behave. But in an international football tournament, you're not only representing yourself, and that moment you're representing your country, you're representing the game. It's an international football tournament.
Yeah.
On a continent that so desperately needs and wants people to take it seriously from the football of fraternity, not just pluck all its talent out and drop it into the English Premier League or the Dutch leagues where they can get into the European system and get passports and so on and so forth. But realistically speaking, they want to see the Michael Essians of the world build out academies and all that sort of stuff, and their football being taken very, very seriously, as they do with their boxing.
Yeah.
When you see this, you go, well, it's poor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Senegal walked off the pitch. When the majority, the Senegalese team, walked off the pitch, fans in the stadium were chanting "Championes, Championes," because per the rules, it's a forfeit. Now, let's go to the human element out of all this, and this is my thing with VAR. When there's this massive narrative from the start of the tournament that has been building about Morocco already having won this thing, that it was fixed for Morocco, that the referees were in favor of Morocco, which is a strong allegation to make, and I don't have the evidence to justify that. But I know how football works as well. You get the little calls in your favor. Historically, that's how it's worked, right? Historically, the home side always gets a couple.
It's an easy accusation to make.
Right.
Difficult one to prove.
Senegal had their opportunities during the match, and Diaye had a one-on-one with Bono that he puts that into the back of the net, and you don't need to go to a 90th minute VAR to find the winner in this game. But with all of that building up, and you get a VAR call, which the fans don't see, there is a human reaction, which I don't justify, and in fact, I highly condemn the way that the Senegal fans behaved, because it was bad. The way that they went after the police, like people were hurt. It was not a good look at all. That happens, right? It happens. You get a VAR call like that. Your mind only thinks on, like, reading between the lines. Oh, they're working this in favor of Morocco. So but it's still, again, I don't justify it.
To go back to the final and the competition, first and foremost, the competition was outstanding. Outstanding. Morocco did a great job in terms of the infrastructure, the stadium, the hotels were excellent. Now we go to the final. What you saw, the reaction of the team of Senegal wanting to leave the field was wrong. That's not the image that you want to give, not only for African football, for any football. You don't want to do that. Do I understand the frustration of how it happened in the final, what happened just before, and then the penalty and whatever it is? This is what I'm talking about. They thought in their eyes that that was a goal scored by Ismail Assar, and then after the penalty goes obviously on Brahim Diaz. So what I'm trying to say right now is that happened in a very quick moment. Okay, very, very, very quick. Some of the guys, obviously, you can see the coach was like, we need to go inside. Sadio Mane called them back. Brahim Diaz obviously misses it, trying to do a panenka. Then we all know that Senegal goes on to win it with Pape Gueye. But what I'm trying to say is, for me, we're gonna go back because I want to say it again. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see a team leaving the field. Do I understand the frustration? Yes. The way they went about it? No. And for me, that's not going to define how the tournament was. Only thing that I would say, though, watching the AFCON for a very long time, the referees are not at the level of the show. All the stuff that happened in those tournaments sometimes are made because of referee mistakes. And I'm not blaming the referee. I'm blaming the people that are not training them to be at the level of the football that we're watching. And that's about it. Other than that, like I said so many times, it was a great tournament. It became a tiny bit more interesting from the quarterfinals. Okay? But I will always watch the African Cup of Nations. That is not what you want to see, but I personally won't stay on what I saw at the very end, because the tournament was good. And the celebration of Senegal, it's nice to see Sadio Mane again.
Je voulais, Tony, savoir votre avis sur les deux actions litigieuses qui ont amené, comme je le disais tout à l'heure, ce désordre, cette confusion, ce chaos hier lors de la finale de la CAN. 92e minute d'abord, 0-0, et le Sénégal va marquer par Sarr, but refusé pour une faute préalable de Sec sur Hakimi. Auriez-vous, vous aussi, refusé ce but?
Alors j'aurais sifflé certainement faute. Parce que factuellement, voilà, il y a le joueur sénégalais pousse Hakimi, même
à gauche en bas de l'écran là.
Même si Hakimi joue vraiment bien le coup. On peut voir d'ailleurs la position de l'arbitre. Lui, il est focus absolument sur ce duel-là. Il est à proximité, là, il est à une dizaine de mètres. Et lui, il n'a pas du tout conscience de ce qui va se passer. C'est-à-dire qu'au moment où il siffle, le ballon, il n'est pas encore parti de la tête du Sénégalais. Donc, quand il siffle, il n'y a ni poteau, ni but. Donc, lui, dans son analyse de la situation, pour lui, il y a une faute. Bon, il la siffle. Point. Il n'a pas encore intégré les conséquences de son coup de sifflet. Et pour lui, bon, bah, c'est une faute d'un attaquant qui bouscule un défenseur.
Donc logique.
Logique, parce que la première faute, c'est Hakimi qui met les mains. Après, le joueur sénégalais s'en dégage, elle est un peu plus brusquement. Et donc, dans l'absolu, on peut comprendre qu'il siffle.
Très bien.
C'est pas une erreur.
Non, mais c'est important d'avoir votre avis. Première frustration, en tout cas pour le Sénégal, parce que le Sénégal ne le prend pas du tout comme ça. Et deuxième frustration, 4 minutes plus tard, parce que là, c'est au Maroc qu'il accorde un penalty pour une faute d'El Hadji Malick Diouf sur Brahim Diaz. Est-ce que vous auriez là sifflé penalty?
Oui, il y a penalty, mais c'est pas le penalty le plus flagrant qu'on ait vu. Donc dans ce cas-là, et d'ailleurs, c'est ce que fait l'arbitre, lui il siffle pas le penalty. C'est la VAR qui va lui demander d'aller voir le penalty. Et c'est là que commencent les problèmes. C'est que lui, sur le terrain, il a certainement pas envie de siffler ce penalty parce qu'il sait ce qui vient de se passer. Et n'oublions pas le contexte, parce qu'on va en parler peut-être après, mais c'est la fin du match. On joue depuis 90 minutes dans un match qui a été...
94.
Ouais, c'est un match qui a été long, tendu. On imagine la pression sur les arbitres. Et alors bon, on parle des arbitres là, mais moi je parle aussi du comportement des joueurs. Vous êtes un défenseur. C'est la 97e minute de jeu. Vous attrapez pas votre adversaire par le cou et vous ne faites pas tomber. Vous savez qu'il y a la VAR. C'est un geste inconsidéré.
Heureusement que Brahim Diaz a raté son penalty. Et je vais vous dire un truc peut-être qui paraît absurde, mais quand j'ai vu les circonstances, il ne pouvait pas gagner comme ça. Et je suis certain que si Diaz avait marqué, ça aurait été une explosion de colère absolument partout, à Dakar, au Maroc, peut-être même à Paris, dans d'autres villes. Et on a échappé au pire grâce à Brahim.
الكرة الآن في يد الاتحاد الإفريقي والفيفا، لأن أنفنتينو قال بأن إفريقيا بهذا التصرف سوف تفقد المغرب، لأن المغرب بسبب الكرة الإفريقية تطور وكيلعب دور مهم في تطوير الكرة الإفريقية على الساحة العالمية. لكن إفريقيا دائما متخلفة وتريد أن تبقى متخلفة. فأكيد أنكم كلكم سمعتوا بأن المغرب كان على حق، وأن ما فعله السنغال أراد فقط ابتزاز المغرب. كما قلت وأقول دائما، أعطونا الكاس ولا نخسر لكم العرس.